So today I'm here with my colleague Stefan from Hyundai Motor Group Technical Center in Europe. And today we will explain you more about the product, but also about technical aspects and development aspects about the new Kia EV4. And here we come to the role of the new Kia EV4. Bringing the Kia EV leadership into a new and very important segment, the C segment. So just to give you a bit of background about the EV roadmap from Kia, you probably remember that everything started in 2014 when we launched the e-Soul, one of the few electric vehicles available on the European market and targeting innovators customers. We then launched our revolutionary EV6, the first vehicle to be developed on the eGMP 800 volt platform. Right now we are in the opposites united phase with the EV3 and today with the EV4. Two models that will help us to increase the full market coverage in all the key segments and also support the democratization of electric cars. The EV4 is leveraging on the success of previously launched fully dedicated models such as the EV6, the EV9, the EV3, and this trend will continue also in the future with other dedicated EV to be launched in the European market. As I mentioned before, the EV4 will play in the C segment EV. This is a very important segment in Europe, which is expected to grow significantly over the next years, as you can see here, not just in volumes, but also in terms of mix. This is the EV mix average on the European market. Today we are about 20%, but this is expected to grow strongly, passing 50% in 2030 and continuing to grow. At the same time, we also expect competitors to start acting and playing, launching more new models in the C segment EVs, as you can see here, until 2030 at least. But let's see why the EV4 really matters for us. First of all, because this will be the first passenger car in our Kia EV lineup. This is not an SUV, this is not a crossover. It's a passenger car, meaning that can help us to achieve a focus on driving pleasure, but also efficiency, which means more range. We will have an extremely long wheelbase, which will guarantee an outstanding interior space level. Also, we will use one nameplate, EV4, for two differentiating body types. One, the fastback, which is a global concept for other regions and built in Korea, and the second one, which is the hatchback that you can see here, the EV4, to be built in Europe. And actually, this is the key milestone of the EV4. This will be the first Kia EV to be produced in Europe, in our Žilina factory in Slovakia. This is a big milestone because, as you know, being able to produce locally will give us many advantages, and it's clearly showing the focus on Kia on EV vehicles and in terms of local production. The EV4 will help us to increase the coverage in all the key segments. When we look at SUV segments, with the EV3, the EV6, the EV9, but also soon with the EV5, we are able to get a very good coverage of the SUV segments. But the EV4, on the other side, will help us to cover the most relevant C segment of the passenger car area. So clearly targeting on the largest and most important segment in the passenger car area.
So what does this number represent?
This is the market size.
Oh, okay.
Yes, of the different segments for EV only, of course. It's not just about market size, it's also about the strength. So when we look at the owners of C segment EV cars, what we notice is 75% of them are actually not coming from SUVs or crossover. They're coming from passenger cars. This means that they're truly looking to this body style for some reason, which we can see there. Drivability, first of all, dynamic characteristics, but also better efficiency, which means better range, and this is clearly linked to the green identity of electric cars, but also superior interior and trunk roominess. In terms of competitors, we identified two main groups of EV4 competitors. The main one, the core, includes the C segment hatchback models like the Volkswagen Group models such as the ID.3 and the Cupra Born, but also Opel Astra and Peugeot E308. We're then aware that some customers would probably consider both passenger cars and crossovers. That's why we believe that there is a secondary basket of competitors, which includes the Renault Scenic E-Tech and the Skoda Elroq. The EV4 has been developed around three main product pillars: spatial concept, efficient performance, and technology. The first one, spatial concept, it's all about the innovative and dynamic design of the car, which is inspired by the Opposites United design language. So as I mentioned before, one nameplate for two body types. So we started from a progressive fastback that you can see here. This is the global concept, meaning that will be sold in all the regions worldwide, and it's produced in Korea. And we developed a dedicated, innovative hatchback, which is European-centric, meaning that it's going to be produced only in Slovakia and only for the European region. So clearly focused around Europe and European customers. In terms of design, we'd like to show you the main feature of this car, which includes some very dynamic feature of our EV4. First of all, the vertical headlamps, which are embodying the Kia Star map lighting, but also the EV Tiger face and the very wide shoulder, which are delivering a sporty and dynamic perception to our model. Moving to the side, we can immediately see the clean profile, but also very dynamic, with flush door handles for both the front and the rear doors. At the rear is where we can actually see the differentiation between the EV4 and the EV4 fastback. The EV4 will have dynamic lights which are extending towards the center of the trunk, but also will have a distinctive element, which is the glossy black C-pillar insert, which stretches on both sides of the vehicle around the C-pillar. When we look at the EV4 fastback, on the other side, we clearly see a different silhouette with this sleek silhouette and the sloping roofline. We will have a different rear in terms of vertical lights, but also the dual spoiler positioned at the edges of the roof. Today you will have the chance, or you tested already, different versions of the EV4. We will have the baseline, which is in blue flame, as you can see here, and we will also have the GT line, which is in wolf gray. We'd like just to show you quickly what are the key differentiation. So first of all, starting from the front, the baseline will have a front bumper with this lower part in black color with some vertical inserts, while the GT line will be a bit more dynamic with some body color insert and a specific pattern for the lower grille. Moving to the side, the baseline will have exterior claddings in recycled plastics and will be available with two different alloy wheels, 17 and 19 inch. The GT line on the other side, again, is expressing a more sporty and sophisticated design with glossy black claddings and side mirrors, and will be offered only with 19-inch wheels with a dedicated specific design for this trim. Inside, the EV4 is delivering this dynamic feel with a wraparound design, which feels a bit all around the driver. We will have two different steering wheels, a two-spoke for the baseline and a free-spoke that you can see here for the GT line. As for the latest Kia EV models, we will have our triple infotainment display with three screens, and we will also combine different typologies of controls. So some functionalities will be available from the touchscreen, some through some touch controls with haptic feedback, and some with physical control, because we believe that some key function of the car needs to have some physical controls. Also, the vehicle will have an advanced ambient lighting on the dashboard, the central console, and the door panels. At the center, we will have a floating console. In this case, it's fixed. It's slightly different from the one of EV3, with a covered storage area. And in terms of differentiation by trims, here you can see the baseline interior, which will be in black and gray with a mix of artificial leather and cloth. We will have the two-spoke steering wheel, the light gray headliner, and we will have a treatment in cloth for the dashboard and the door panels. On the other side, the GT line will have a specific and dedicated artificial leather upholstery in black and off-white. We will have metal pedals, free-spoke steering wheel, also this double color, and a black headliner, which is delivering a bit more dynamic and sporty feel. As for other EV models in Kia, we will also utilize our 10 sustainable and recycled material, both for the interior and exterior of the car. Inside, we use a combination of recycled plastics, BOPU artificial leather, and some toxins-free paints for the plastic and the door handles. Outside, similarly, we will have some components such as the A-pillar cover, the side seat molding, the wheel guard and the bumper claddings, which will use a percentage of recycled paints and recycled plastics. Let's now have a look at the differences between the EV4 and the EV4 Fastback. The two cars are based on the same platform. They will share the same wheelbase, 2 meters and 82. They will have the same width and almost the same height. The difference here is about the length. So the two cars will be differentiated by 30 centimeters in length, with the EV4 Fastback being longer by 30 centimeters, but with the EV4, with 4 meters and 43 of length, clearly positioned at the core of the European C segment. Long wheelbase means also that we can have incredible interior space. Luggage space up to 435 liters on the EV4, which will increase to 490 on the EV4 Fastback. And long wheelbase also means more roominess for the passenger inside the car, in terms of headroom, but especially in terms of rear legroom. 970 millimeter means that we offer almost 10 centimeters more than a Tesla Model 3. But the Tesla Model 3 is actually 30 centimeters longer than our EV4. So clearly this is an outstanding result. Let's now move to the second pillar of the EV4, efficient performance, which is about best-in-class range and driving dynamics. So the EV4 will be available with two different battery sizes. The standard range, 58.3 kWh, and the long range, 81.4 kWh. Both versions will share the same e-motor, 150 kW. They will have different range. For the standard range, we go between 440 and 456 km, depending on the body type. And for the long range, we will have this outstanding result, 625 km on the EV4 and 633 on the EV4 Fastback. This means that this model will be the Kia's longest range EV ever built and ever sold. So very important for Kia. In terms of fast charging, 10 to 80% will have between 29 and 31 minutes depending on the battery size, and acceleration will go between 7.4 and 7.7 seconds. We will not only be the best in the Kia lineup, we will also be best in class in the C segment. When we compare our EV4 with ID.3, Cupra Born, but especially with Peugeot and Opel Astra, we can see that we have a significant better range with 625 km, which will increase to 633 for the EV4 Fastback. And now let's go beyond range and efficiency. As I mentioned before, this is not an SUV, this is not a crossover, this is a passenger car. This is a car made for customers which are looking forward to sitting in the car and not on the car. We'll have a lower sitting position than the EV3, around 40 millimeters lower, and a low center of gravity, around 20 millimeters lower than the EV3, which will help us to deliver a stable, confident, and precise driving feeling. Once again, this vehicle has been developed and fine-tuned by our engineers in Germany, with a clear focus on European customer, but also tailor-made and optimized for European roads. Also, something that many other customers don't offer, we will offer later on, after the SOP, also an all-wheel drive dual motor version, which will emphasize even more the dynamism and will offer even stronger performance to our EV4. And as you know, in Kia, we've been building for the last 15 years a GT heritage, which went beyond time, but also beyond fuel type. We already launched two electric GT models, the EV6 and the EV9. And well, as announced already at the EV Day this year, I can confirm that we will also launch a GT dedicated version for our EV4. Here you can see a foiled version, so it's not the production one, but it's just for you to get a glimpse of what's coming next. Let's now move to the third pillar, technology. It's more practical, but it's equally important for our customers. First of all, the EV4 will offer all the latest safety and ADAS equipment. For example, we will have Highway Driving Assist 2, which help us to adjust the speed and the distance from the vehicle in front of us, but also will feature the automatic lane change. This means that the customer can simply touch the turning lights and the car will automatically change the lane when driving on the highway. We will also have our latest remote smart parking assist. This is a system that allows us to exit and enter narrow parking spaces. But for the first time, this will not only be available from the smart key, also from the Kia app. This means, and it's something that unfortunately you cannot test today, but will be available from the next updates of the Kia app, the customer will simply open the Kia app, drag and drop the vehicle, and the car will move back and forward in front of them. And this is the first in Kia. Also, we will offer the blind spot collision avoidance, including the blind view monitor, meaning that we can actually see the blind spot in the cluster when activating the turning lights. We'll have the image of our blind spot, so increasing even more the safety while driving. And the car will feature LED projection headlamps with intelligent front lighting system. This is an adaptive and intelligent system for the high beam, which is adjusting the brightness and the coverage of the light flow, avoiding to flash on coming vehicles and increasing the safety while driving during night or difficult conditions, for example during rain or snow. As for other EV models, Kia, I mentioned, will offer the triple panoramic display, which includes a 12.3-inch cluster, a 5.3 touchscreen climate control, and a central 12.3-inch touchscreen display. As an option, we will also have a head-up display, 12.3-inch, which will project directly on the windshield all the main driving information. The car will also have the Kia AI Assistant, which is a system which provides natural conversation. It can be activated pressing the button on the steering wheel or just saying, "Hey Kia." This system is very smart because it can control both vehicle function, so physical function, and entertainment function. So we can ask the system, for example, to open a window, open the sunroof, increase or decrease the temperature of the climate control, or to set the navigation wherever we want to go.
Can we set like specific functions like open windows?
Yes, we can say, yeah, rear window or left window, yeah, we can say also that. Also, the EV4 will be the first Kia vehicle which will feature from factory Google places into the online navigation system. This means that we integrated points of interest from Google embedded in our navigation system. This will increase the customer convenience because they will have the access to all the Google points of interest, and of course also from an update point of view this will be much more often and much easier for the customer. The EV4 will also have the digital key 2.0. This is a technology that allows us to use our smartwatch or our smartphone as a car key. We can lock or unlock the vehicle, start and stop the vehicle, but especially we are able to share the non-physical, so the digital key of our car with friends or family. We increase the number of devices up to 15 devices right now, so we can simply allow friends or family to use our vehicle for a certain amount of time or unlimitedly, and we don't need to physically hand over the car key. So very smart technology to share our car. Inside, as I mentioned before, we aim to deliver a warm and welcoming environment for the interior. That's why we'll have sequential ambient lighting on the dashboard, which will be linked, for example, to ADAS functionalities, drive mode change, or voice control when having a call or using the Kia AI Assistant. Also, on the rest, we will have also indirect lighting on the central console and direct lights on the door panels. In Kia, we believe that we could turn stops into opportunities. That's why the EV4 will have two new functions, the theater mode and the rest mode. These two functionalities are aimed to improve the experience inside the vehicle during stops or charging stops. The theater mode, for example, creates an immersive in-car cinema experience, which adjusts the sitting position, but also the climate control and the lighting to create an optimal environment to watch a movie or use the entertainment of the vehicle. On the other side, the rest mode is to create a dark environment, for example, to take a nap during a stop. We'll adjust the relaxation seat position and we'll turn off all the lights, including display and ambient lighting, to create a dark environment. These two functions will be merged with the entertainment packages, which are available in the Kia store, and will offer extended music streaming, but also video streaming packages. EV4 will offer vehicle-to-load compatibility, meaning that we can charge external devices such as e-scooters or laptops or any other camping equipment directly using the energy stored in our battery. We can use the external plug, as you can see here, or we can use an internal plug in the second row of seats. The EV4 will also be ready for vehicle-to-home and vehicle-to-grid, meaning that the car is ready to share the energy from the battery to power your home, or to give back the energy to the grid. This is something that is of course available depending on the market, local regulation and availabilities. The EV4 will have an advanced EV route planner embedded in the navigation system, but also fully compatible with our Kia app. This means that we can just open our app, for example, when we are at home, decide where we want to go, decide where we want to stop, and simply send to the car. I will show you later on with the Kia app, but extremely convenient because we can get in the car and just start without the need to set the navigation from the car. Also, we will have plug and charge compatibility, so meaning that the car can be automatically recognized at charging station. So we just plug the car and the charging and the payment will start seamlessly without the need to use the charging card or the smartphone app. So here we come to the conclusion of our product presentation. I'd like to leave you some key takeaways that we believe are really important. The first one, the range. The EV4 will be top class in terms of range, the highest in the Kia EV lineup, but also the best in class in the C segment. 625 km on the EV4 and 633 on the EV4 Fastback. So this is very important for us. The second, as I mentioned before, this vehicle has been is not just produced in Europe. This vehicle has been designed, tailor-made for Europe and with European customer at the center. So clearly with a focus on our region, and will be produced only in our Žilina factory in Slovakia and only for European customers. And then driving dynamics. Once again, this is not an SUV, this is a car with low sitting position, with low center of gravity, so with a focus on driving pleasure and also on efficiency. Driving pleasure which will be even emphasized with the all-wheel drive version and the GT version, which will be available later on. And then we have a very long wheelbase, 2 meters and 82, which allow us to have an outstanding interior space, up to 970 millimeter of rear legroom and up to 490 liter of trunk space. So clearly more practical, but equally important for our customers. So this is the EV4. From one nameplate, we created two differentiating body types. We started from the progressive fastback that you can see here on the left, and we created a tailor-made and dedicated hatchback version built in Europe and for Europe. So thank you very much, and I will now move to the Kia app to show you the main feature of the new application. So this is the new Kia app. We just launched it, and it's replacing 5 previously existing apps: Kia Connect, Kia Charge, My Kia, Kia Warranty Book, and Kia Owner's Manual. All the functionalities of the 5 app has been now combined in one single application. Here you can see the widget that you can have on your phone, very convenient, which includes all the main functions. The Kia app will be fully integrated with the digital key 2.0 that I showed before. So we just click twice, we open our wallet, and this is actually our car key. We don't need a physical key. We have it here, we can lock and unlock the car, start the vehicle, share it with the family and friends whenever we want. Let's now have a look at the Kia app. As you can see, it's divided into 5 main areas. We have the homepage, which includes all the shortcuts, for example, to navigation, for the service shortcuts to share the vehicle or to change the vehicle if we have more than one car, but also we can check driving insight and driving safety score. This is important, for example, if we want to share our car with anyone, with a friend and family, we can check actually how they're driving. Also, we will have the map here, so we can simply type a location where we want to go. For example, I will put Valencia. We just do route, and the route guidance will start, including also the charging stop that we need to have. Of course, we can fully configure and decide which operators, which speed, and when to stop. It's a full route planner, and we can simply send to the car. So the full itinerary will be already on our navigation system, and we don't need to lose time whenever we get into the vehicle. We then have the control functions on our car. So here you can see the actual car to check if it's locked or unlocked, if a window is open, and we can remotely control it. So we can lock it, unlock it. We can start the climate, as you can see here with the little vent. So for example, we can cool down or warm up the car before getting into the vehicle, open the window, activating lights and horns, or we can check, for example, vehicle diagnostics and vehicle status remotely. We will have also the same functionalities for EV functions. So battery status, we can start and stop charging, and we can also schedule charging, for example, during the night or whenever the energy is cheaper, just to give you an example. And then we have also the Kia Connect store fully integrated here. Before it was a separated app. Now we integrated directly in the Kia app. In the Kia Connect store, we can purchase additional functionalities or we can unlock additional packages, for example, entertainment and music packages. Not all are dedicated for the EV4, but I will show you what we have available right now. We have, for example, the boost function, which is something dedicated for the EV9. We have the remote smart parking assist. Also, this is dedicated for the EV9. Over-the-air updates. Whenever the free period ends, we can unlock more updates for our vehicle directly from here. We can purchase music streaming to have directly embedded in the navigation and entertainment system, more streaming packages. Entertainment packages, this you will be fully able to test it on our cars today. We have Netflix, Disney+, YouTube and so on, so you can test it today. Smart regeneration system, this is for EV3, EV4 will have it standard, and then you can personalize the car with display themes or arcade games. Also, these two functions are available in our car, so you're fully able to test them and play a bit around today. And now let's go to the last page of the Kia app, which is the fleet management. Here in vehicle, you can actually check all the vehicles that are linked to your account. Here we have 37 because are all the cars that you are able to test today. From here you can check the status, you can book the maintenance at the dealer that you want without even calling them, just from the app. You can see the charging stations around us. We have access to up to 1 million stations in the whole Europe. In-car payment, we can pay, for example, the parking directly from the car and check when the parking will expire. So it's very convenient actually. But also we included the owner's manual and the warranty book. So we don't need to go through paper materials. We have everything under control in our smartphone app. So this is the end of my presentation. And now I would like to hand over to my colleague Stefan, which will explain you a bit more about the technical and the development and the durability of our EV4.
Yeah, warm welcome also from my side. I'm a test engineer at the European Technical Center, which is located close to Frankfurt. And I will give you some more insights into the technical details, which were mentioned already, dynamic driving performance, then durability, which is my special area, and also the other systems. Let's start with the driving dynamics. This is why we have these parts here. Some of you have already taken a look at it. What is special about these parts that give us a better driving performance? Let's start with the link arm. Yeah? So it's made of aluminum, it's light, it's stiff. It also features a hydro bushing, which compared to a conventional bushing has a higher capability of filtering out low frequencies and giving a better precision in driving. Yeah, so this is the comfort bushing. For those of you who want to take a closer look, this is a conventional bushing and this is the hydro bushing, usually filled with oil. And yeah, with the advantages that I already said. We have also the shock absorbers, which are frequency selective dampers. They are able to cut out some very high frequency, which would turn into vibration in the car, and at the same time filtering or at the same time giving a good feedback on the road. So that's basically one or more shock absorber in one piece. Yeah? So that is also a clear advantage for the driving precision. We also have a new wheel bearing, lighter, integrated into the drive shaft, and giving a more higher lateral stiffness, which is also good for precise handling. In terms of tires, for the 19-inch tires, which Francesco already mentioned, we have a collaboration with Michelin. So this tire is a common development together with Michelin and is especially developed for this car. So making it safe, making it also dynamic, And what is most important on EVs, it's also giving a good fuel economy. Good. For the rear suspension, we have a 4-link axle. You would say, okay, that's standard, but nevertheless, 4 links are the minimum number that help us to provide a good trade-off between lateral and longitudinal stiffness. Yeah, so we can choose whenever we want what should have the priority. The rear subframe is connected to the vehicle body through rubber bushings, so the high-frequency vibrations that are transferred from the road into the chassis are not moved on to the body due to the bushings, which will filter them out and give more comfort in the ride. Yeah, so this is the specialties that you will probably notice when you drive the car outside on the roads in terms of very good ride performance and a very precise handling. These parts actually they look a bit dirty. They are dirty. Tires are worn. This is because these components are coming from this vehicle. This is a vehicle that was tested on the Nürburgring Nordschleife for more than 10,000 kilometers. And yeah, we took the parts out to show that they are in good shape, that there was not unexpected wear to the vehicle. And for the Nürburgring test itself, this is a very crucial test for our company, since we are simulating 150,000 kilometers in customer hands in only about 6 to 8 weeks. So we are getting results very fast for a long distance, and thus can make changes quickly if necessary. The Nürburgring durability test, I said it already, 10,000 kilometers for all Kia vehicles. It was done without any bigger failures on the car. We especially checked the battery and the electric components afterwards, so there was no critical issue. The battery deterioration was very low. Only 5% of the capacity approximately was lost on these 10,000 kilometers, and you have to know that the test itself is very demanding. So you are driving at full speed, 90 to 95% of the vehicle capacity on a racetrack, and after 3 to 4 laps you're coming back in. The vehicle is hypercharged with maximum charging performance. And so you can imagine this is a real high load temperature-wise and current-wise on the battery and on the electrical components. Yeah? So really we are very happy to say that there was no real degradation, and we are confident that the customer later on will have a vehicle that he can enjoy for a real long time on many kilometers and journeys he's going to undertake. Okay, the last part already mentioned is the ADAS systems. We have here a quick mock-up of the sensors and the ECUs of the system. Basically, the eyes and ears of the vehicle together with the brain of the vehicle. We have front cameras, radar system, park distance controls working with ultrasonic, corner radars, and all these sensors send their signals to the respective ECU. There are 2 ECUs. One is for the parking functionalities and the other one for the driving functionalities. And the system then decides what the vehicle will do in certain situations, and will help for safe driving and also for a good fuel economy.